Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show, and I want to thank you all for using my Amazon store, and I want to thank someone who really pointed out a problem. And I knew there was one problem, and I just hadn't gotten around to fixing it, and that's what I want to tell you about. Okay, if you went to one of my older shows, let's just pick this one here. Here's one of my older show. This is 469. That's way back. I had at that time around, I think it was around show 350 thereabouts, I had set up my Amazon store. And I would put, let me close this down the way you would normally see it. You would normally see the description like this. And if you clicked show more, you could see two things. One is visit my webpage, which I haven't done anything with that webpage in like 3 years, so I need to get rid of that. And the next one says support my shows by using my Amazon store, and here was the link. Now this is the link to the old Amazon stores, which last October Amazon did away with. They said we're not going to support those anymore. We've got this new method of having an Amazon store, and so those are going away. And they went away. So I then, in October, late October, set up one of the new stores called an influencer store. Similar to my old store, but a little different and a little more like Amazon, so you get a warmer feeling that you're really on Amazon, not on some hoax. And so starting at the end of October, excuse me, I put a different link in here to the new store. Matter of fact, initially for the first couple of weeks, I had both the old and new. And I said, this is the link to my old Amazon store, which is going away October, I think, 28th or something. And then here is my new one. And then after October, I took out the reference to the old store. Well, the problem is I have over 1,200 shows with the old link in it. And I don't know of any way to do a mass change to put the new link in. I'm going to have to just manually go to every show and change it out. And yesterday, because this gentleman informed me that there was this problem, he was watching one of my old shows, and he wanted to support me by going to my Amazon store and buying whatever product I was showing. Oh, it was the Grundig 750, and the link said, it's not any good anymore. So he had used the link on one of my newer shows, so he knew there was a difference. So he went to the new link and got to my Amazon store, and then he was nice enough to inform me, hey, Tom, get your act together, get those links fixed. So yesterday I modified, 40 or 50 of them. And it took a while, even though it was kind of a go to the YouTube, cut and paste the new link, So it wasn't too bad, but going from show to show and all that stuff took some time. And so I counted the number of shows that I'm going to have to fix and counted the average time I could fix one. And it turns out it's going to take me about 10 and a half hours to fix them all. And of course, there's no way I'm going to spend 10 and a half hours continuously fixing them. So I'll have to do it over time and, interruptions and everything. It'll probably take me 2 or 3 weeks. So, number one, I thank the gentleman for doing that, telling me about it. And number two, this is to make you aware that the old shows will have the old link to my Amazon store, which doesn't exist anymore. You need to go to a newer show, a recent show since, say, November of last year has the new link. And also, I want to appreciate everybody that's been doing that, going to that link, purchasing something. And once you go to through that link and you see what I've identified as things I suggest you buy from Amazon related to my show, while you're there, you can buy other things. You can, like I always say, you can buy birdseed, and if you do it when you've gone through that link, I'll get a small commission for that birdseed, which I use to buy things to review my show, like the QFX little multi-function radio doobobby that I reviewed in the previous show. That's how I paid for that. So I will get those corrected. It will take me a while. Oh, the other thing he pointed out, and let me see if I can go back to, yes, see this page here, which is my Amazon YouTube channel page. Up here, I put the link to my store. That link was wrong too. It was still the old link. I had totally forgotten that that little thing there, that link existed. So he pointed that out too. It took me 30 minutes to find out how to change that. I finally figured it out. And the key was, and I don't know if it's showing up, but if you go over, if I go over and I mouse over that link, then up here shows this little pencil, and that's to edit what's in that box. That's how you modify what's in that box, the link and everything else that's in that box. So it took me half an hour, but I got that fixed, so that link is good. Whew. So that's a situation. Again, thanks to the gentleman who pointed that out. That's been going on since November of last year. I've had those bad links in the old shows, so I got to fix those. The other thing is, the other piece of news is a really nice gentleman in Texas, his name's Doug, has helped me program that DMR radio. I mean, I was totally dead in the water. Matter of fact, I recovered the shipping box from the trash because I was ready to send it back. It wasn't anything wrong with the radio. I just couldn't understand how to program DMR. And it's fairly complicated the first time you do it. Now, what I suggest on that radio, if you've never used one of those, you need to find somebody that can help you go through that process of program. Now, Doug has been excellent. He's programmed a lot of channels in for me and sent me the files. That's the beauty of it, is you create these little programming files and you can transfer them around. And so you can share them. Like there's an individual that found out I'm trying to figure out how to program it locally. And he says, I can't do it either. If you find out anything, let me know. So I'm going to get with him and give him some of the files that Doug made for me so that he can get started. And once you see the files, you can say, oh, okay, you got to do this, and then you got to do that. And it's very, very different than your typical analog HT programming, like for your Bofang. It's much, much different. And some of it doesn't make sense. And the reason it doesn't make sense to an amateur radio operator is that these radios, the DMR radios, were designed for fire, police, business, and so it's a whole different concept. I kind of liken it to trunking radio that you have on your scanner, similar to that. Trunking radios are not easy to program either. They're a little easier to understand, but it's very tedious. Luckily, these radios come with software that you can do the programming on your computer and then send the file to the radio. And that works very good. It has a few little quirks about it that I'll be telling you about. So I'll be getting to that radio soon. I think that's about it. Main thing is I will be correcting those links. I thank people who have used my Amazon store. A lot of people have used it this month, and I appreciate it. I think that's about all. So Thanks for the gentleman that pointed out the link problem, and thanks for Doug, who helped me, not helped me, he actually programmed the radio for it, and the radio is now working. It's working. Whew. Have a great day. If you enjoyed the show, please give me a thumbs up. Bye-bye. Okay, what button did I push? Okay.